why are people poor? People are poor because they've made bad decisions. They've chosen alcohol. They've listened to their desires. That's one way. The other way is that they grow up poor, so therefore they do not have the capital and time resources to think about anything else other than food, water, and shelter. So then you might say, well, poor people should have more than one kid. You know why? It's because, well, one kid focuses on education, the other kid can work for the family. Or, for example, the father can work for the family, or the mother can work for the family, and the kids are left to get educated. So you see this, and you see, okay, public school, it is free, but then if you want a career outside of blue collar, for the most part, you would have to do post-secondary education. Now, post-secondary education is a private industry, which makes a lot of money on international students. It's a business. Let's keep it real, it's a business. And because it's a business catering to those that have money, it will continue to further the gap between those educated, which have a higher percentage of landing high-paying jobs, and those that are not educated or educated to a lesser degree, which, majority speaking, go on to blue-collar industries and employment, with some exceptions, of course. So, with all that being said, you have to ask yourself, why is education even institutionalized? Especially now. There's so many resources online. Why is this part of the system? Like, go get your high school diploma, go get your university, this job requires masters. It's all part of the big complexity with this whole plan, and it sterilizes everybody. I was told in middle school, I was told, yo, you need to shut up in class, pretty much. I think a lot of people can relate. And after that, it changed me. Like, how many people can relate having an extremely hard class in high school? And high school, honestly, doesn't get much harder than high school, I'll be honest, because you can manage your time in university, and there's far more things to do and ways to maneuver, if you know what I'm saying. But high school, that's really, and especially if you're taking IB or AP or A levels, right? Those were like some of the hardest classes you've probably ever taken. It's because you had to go to school. There wasn't much freedom in that respect. And like, how'd you find your mental health? learning about all these numbers, learning about... That's the thing. School teaches you to be a jack of all trades, which is important. You need a root understanding of English and math. You need to know how to subtract, add, so on and so forth. But these elaborate things, that's when you start specializing. So I guess that's where university saw the opportunity to specialize in areas that people are very passionate about. So the arts and engineering, so on and so forth. And what the universities made is this ecosystem of you must pay us money in order to make money. And if you don't, you're pretty much taking a gamble. And you must be risk adverse 100%. You must be willing to do what people don't want to do. That's what's in every good leader, right? They do the right thing. Not necessarily the crowd favorite, but they do the right thing. They instill a environment, they instill a dogma for the better of society, for the better of humanity. And so when this ecosystem arises, yes, it cordons off the different specialties, the different specializations, but then it sterilizes you in that specialization. So going to university, that's pretty much, it's an investment. You're investing that you're gonna get a good paying job, but also understand the economy. Understand what makes you happy. Understand what makes you fulfilled. Because yes, you're gonna get paid if you do everything by the book, right? And if you have the capital to go into university, you're gonna get paid. And you work hard, you're gonna get paid. No worries. Right? A lot of families think like that. They just go to university, study hard, and everything. But if you don't understand why university is here in the first place, why this system has been made, why so many are just lining the pockets of oligarchs, that is when you need to think. Because, see, parents that just accept, which is like, there's nothing against people that accept the system for what it is, but people who just accept it, right, they're probably doing that against their own will, their own soul. They're probably going against their soul. They're battling themselves for it. And especially now with corporations and so many companies in the Canadian economy being monopolized and oligopolized. The leaders of these businesses, quote unquote, because, I mean, what leader would exploit labor like that? But these leaders, for lack of a better word, they're realizing that those coming out of university will have to work for them if there's only a select few, or there's one. And I don't think Canada's at monopoly level yet, but certainly oligopoly level. And if there's only a couple, then those oligarchs, they decide what your normal is. They decide how you're gonna live. like robots. That's why there's work-life balance. That's why there's all these sayings. It's because they've normalized this robotic type and alienation of educated people. And to be honest, educated people means you think critically of what you're being taught and you realize the system. So once you get to this point, you'll come to the conclusion that that is our system. You need to have the piece of paper saying that you graduated. You need to have the diploma. You need to have the degree. You need to have this and that, which costs money. They're investments on your future. So it's a very homogenized approach to humans. That works for AI, that works for robots. Humans are not robots. So take that for what it's worth. Because this whole system treats us like robots. Treats us to not have an independent mind. Treats us, oh, your employer's not going to like that. See, if you have the tenets of Islam, if you follow the tenets of Islam, and you form your opinions around that, you're good. You're good. Don't be fooled by the next PR thing. Don't be fooled by what you have to say in order to make it seem like you care about human rights. It's so robotic. So, you might think you can beat the system. The only way to beat the system is to fight against it. Like, people who join the system thinking that they're gonna beat the system someday have embodied the saying, if you can't beat them, join them. So if there's more people that actually want to beat the system, they wouldn't be playing in it. And I think there's a lot of people that want to beat the system if they have an understanding of the system in the first place. So, with that being said, entrepreneurs even, you guys have not beat the system, I'm sorry. You are accounted for. Entrepreneurs are accounted for because the oligarchs know you will never beat them. So a reform is needed. A reform is needed to get rid of oligarchs, because that's not human, that's not capitalism, that's a robotic ecosystem they've created. And unless you're richer than the government, you lobby with the oligarchs, you're part of the system.